Hello and welcome. I'm Natasha Hemingway, Meaningful Success Coach and speaker. I am so excited and grateful to have you here on this journey with me. I want to start off sharing my story and how did I get here. So for me, it started back about 2 years ago. Just so you know, a little background, my degree is in biology. So coming out of college, I went straight into pharmaceutical sales, did that for 8 years, then went into medical device sales and did that for another 8 years. And what I loved about the job in the industry is that I got to sell products that changed people's lives and that gave them outcomes. And the other thing that I love the most with my biology degree, I love the science and research behind things. But what I loved even more is that I had the ability to interact directly with the patient in the process of changing their life via the product that I sold. So I love the industry, but as all things, they do come to an end. And 2 years ago in 2016, that came to an end for me. And at that point, I had to make a decision. What would I do if I was operating from a place of faith and not fear that would allow me to achieve meaningful success and true joy? So meaningful success, what that means and the definition I've created behind that is where you are creating and cultivating what matters to you most and brings you purpose and joy. And I had to get really real with myself and sit with that question. And I'll be quite honest, it did not come to me right off the bat. I started out coaching in another area as far as health coaching. And I thought, this is it. It marries the two things that I love, my passion of health and fitness. I was a former competitive gymnast for many, many years. And also, it married the fact that I got to empower and coach women on their journey. So you can probably find a theme. I love people. I love empowering and connecting with people and helping them get to an outcome. And I thought, this is it. And my husband was 1000% supportive behind saying, hey, you know what? Let's give it a year and let's try it. Let's see. And I will say and admit honestly, I was terrified because that meant I wasn't going to have a 6-figure career anymore. I was going to be starting from ground zero, creating this career and this opportunity that I believed in and that I was passionate about. But what I found after a year of giving it a lot of effort and reevaluating things and trying different things, it just wasn't working. And I will say this, even though it wasn't where I ended up, I knew that I was at that place and working in that opportunity for a reason because I gained so much from that opportunity around being a leader and around empowering other people and around helping them get to their outcomes and their goals by removing excuses and really getting to the core of what they really wanted. And even though I gained all that from that, I knew when nothing was changing after I'd given it a year that I needed to take another pause. And I came to a place of surrender. And I will say it was not easy for my personality because one thing you're going to learn about me is I'm very real and I'm very honest. I don't know how to operate any other way by just being me. And me is real and honest. And I will say I came down to a breaking point where I was like, I don't know what else there is for me to do. This isn't working. I'm no longer in the career that I have for 16 years. I'm not making the money that I would like to make and the goals that I've set. And I was like, okay, I am at a place where I have to surrender all of this. And I really have to lean into my faith and figure out, where am I supposed to be? What is next for me? Because sometimes we think we have the best laid plans and that we all have it figured out. And what the truth is that we really don't have all the plans, all the answers, and all of it figured out. And guess what? That's okay. And what I did was I came to this place of surrender and I started to really kind of peel back the layers and say, what matters to me most? What brings me joy? And what allows me, again, to pour into other people and serve other people from a place that I can show up for them, that I can show them how to show up for themselves, that I can show them how to operate from a place of faith and a place of truth and not fear, so that they will be able to step into their true purpose and their calling, so that they can be operating from a place of, just purpose, right? So that they're actually living on purpose with and on purpose. And so with that said, I did a lot of work. I was in a program on speaking to become a speaker and become a professional speaker. And throughout this whole process, I kept asking, what is it for me? What else is there outside of speaking? And several people came to me and said, oh, have you ever thought about coaching? And to be honest, to go back to even when I was in college, when I used to work in the hospital, I worked with older adults and they became my friends. And I used to give them advice and we used to share on deep conversations. And they were like, you should be a therapist. Like, you're wise beyond your years. And what came back to me is people were saying, oh, have you thought about being a coach? Have you thought about being a coach? And I was like, I've already done that. I gave it a year and some months and it didn't work. I don't want to do that again. And my husband brought to my attention, he was like, babe, have you ever thought about being like a life coach or I don't know what kind of coach, but maybe that's what people are saying. And I was like, oh, I haven't thought about that. But I knew a life coach was not me. And I didn't know what it looked like. So I started evaluating this process that I've been going through, really going back to 2013 when we experienced a major life event, and just trying to process, like, how have I come through these things and how do I keep ending up at these places where I'm able to find joy even in my pain? I'm able to find joy even when I don't have a six-figure career. And where I'm coming back to this place of, I'm simply coming back to doing what brings me joy and what allows me to serve other people and what allows me to operate as my best self. And what I came to is what I call being a meaningful success coach. So it's not about success around just money or based off of happiness, because I believe happiness is based off of happenings, the things that are happening to you, the things that come and go, right? But those things, just like happiness, they come and go, right? But I mean coming from a place of joy. When you don't have the things and you're still able to operate in your purpose and wake up with joy every single day and being fulfilled by that. And for me, meaningful success is what I've had to operate in. Coming through that process of going from fear to faith when things happen and when they don't make sense. And when I am not feeling at my best, but I'm still able to wake up with joy in my heart and having that internal anchoring that joy provides. And I was like, I want to help people get to that place where they're doing what they want to do that provides and allows them to operate as their best self, and that allows them to really have joy and purpose. And I know what that's like because I've had to do the personal work and the internal work. I will tell you, it was painful. It was grueling. It required me to show up fully. It required me to surrender. It required me to come to truly coming into my faith and really deeply leaning into that so that I could get to this place of knowing and being fully sure about where I am, who I am, and what I've been called to do. And that is where I am now. And I could not be more happy. I cannot be more joyous. I cannot be more fulfilled, because I know that I'm operating my purpose. And I am so grateful to be able to do this as a coach where I'm able to help other people find out what that is for them. Because all too often we're told what we should be doing. And we're told you're supposed to go to college, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to make this amount of money, and you're supposed to do this. And sometimes it's even the expectations that are put on us from society, from social media, from our friends, from our parents, from our spouse, our significant other, or even the pressures that we put on ourselves. But what is life if you're living for other people? Like, truly, think about that. What is it if you're living it for other people? But think about the opposite of that. What could life be like if you were living it for yourself and for the things that you want to do? It might not mean that you leave a career or you decide to jump. It might not mean that for you, but maybe it means while you're working your corporate job that brings you happiness and joy, that fulfills you, maybe it's that other thing that's in you, that whether it's starting a business that you've been wanting to do, or writing the book that you've wanted to do, or creating the art that you wanted to do, or starting a blog, whatever it is that is where you truly want to be operating from. Creating that and folding that into your life so you're actually getting that joy. And not only that, so that you are actually being your best self. And I am so grateful that I not only get to coach other people to get rid of the mind blocks, get rid of the comparison that we do, and actually start really working on your mindset to deeply do the work and actually really diving into your faith, because you have to have something that anchors you. You have to have something that you believe in that's bigger than yourself, that you can anchor yourself in, that you can actually know that you can go after this from a place of faith and not fear, from a place of truth and not lies. So getting people to that point brings me so much joy. And I'm so grateful that I have been able to start this journey and to be able to help people move from that place of actually just operating in happiness to actually operating from a place of joy and a place where they actually feel like they are achieving meaningful success. And so I'm grateful. I'm so grateful that you guys are on this journey and that you're going to be able to follow along. You can go and find my blog post or my vlog post on my website at natashahemingway.com. You'll be able to sign up at my website for my newsletter for the Success Pack, what I'm calling, where you can join my Success Pack. You're going to be able to find all that information at my website, be able to follow along, interact with me. I want to communicate with you guys and hear, what are your struggles? What is it you feel like is stopping you? And how do you feel like I can help you get there? So I'm grateful for that opportunity. You're going to be able to follow me on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. I'm Natasha Hemingway on all platforms, no matter where you go. And also, I'm so excited to be able to speak. I've had the opportunity to speak in Canada twice this year. So speaking internationally and speaking locally, I'm so excited and I'm so grateful, and I could not be more honored that you've decided to join me on this journey, and I look forward to everything that unfolds. Have a great one.